asteroids. And if you have ever wondered exactly what it would be like to be working and doing all these experiments, you know, in the International Space Station, what it would be like to float in space, I talked to 3 astronauts on board the football-sized ISS today. And of course, as a space geek, it was awesome just to talk to them about social media, some of the photos they've been taking, asteroids, and yes, even sandwiches in space making news. I actually started by talking to the commander of the ISS, Kevin Ford, asked him, what's it like? Here they were.
There are about 150 experiments going on at any one time, literally hundreds and hundreds in the past and to come. A lot of scientists on Earth think of things that they could do in zero-G, things like the way metals cure, for example, and the way fluids react in space can tell us a lot about some of the unknowns that we have on Earth. Also, we can do science, some medical science, studies on osteoporosis, those kinds of things.
As a huge space geek, I am in awe of all 3 of you. And Tom, I cannot help but notice this camera floating in front of you, which makes me just kind of wonder, do you ever get used to this feeling of floating, of zero gravity?
You get better at being able to do useful work in zero gravity, but it's always fun. It's always a complete delight. It's like a dream, being able to fly from place to place. And your feet kind of become like your hands, and so that's why we don't have shoes on. We're always just wearing socks so we can stabilize ourselves. But it's always an enormous amount of fun.
Chris, my question to you now, because you're really making waves with all your tweets, your pictures all around Earth, your sandwich making, the peanut butter, the honey. I understand you've been rocking out with the Chieftains and the Bare Naked Ladies with your guitar. What do you make of just the response here on Earth, just from your Twitter page?
Brooke, I think it's marvelous. When I first flew in space, gosh, 17 years ago, I've been trying ever since to let people know what a magnificent human experience this is. It's new for our species to be able to see our Earth in all of its just beautiful glory in one place, in one glance, in 90 minutes to go around the whole thing. To try and describe that, I do my best. But now with the technology that NASA has on board, and with technology like Twitter, went over 500,000 followers today, in fact, that are directly following what we're doing on board here, we can show people real time this incredible richness that we are all privy to, that we all live with, but you just don't get to see any other way. And so I think the response reflects that. We are doing science on the space station, we're learning how to leave Earth permanently, but at the same time it teaches us a tremendous amount about our planet and our place in it. And I think the followership on the Twitter feed and everything else really reflects that.
Chris, do you have a favorite photo, a favorite vista, something you've seen from your perch high above us?
When we're in the cupola, which is our huge bulging bay window that faces the Earth, sometimes all 3 of us jam in there, but often there are 2 of us in there waiting for something to happen, waiting to come up on a continent, or even maybe what I think is the most special, waiting for a sunrise or a sunset. Because that transition, as we race around the Earth and come into sight of the sun, or the sun comes into sight of us, the atmosphere blossoms so quickly with all the colors, just a rainbow exploding around the world. And then suddenly the world is bathed in the light of the sun because of our tremendous speed. And it's a repeating miracle. It's just beautiful to see.
Gentlemen, can we talk about asteroids? Because they've been making a lot of news down here where we are, that there was the quick buzz past Earth a couple of weeks ago. We saw what happened with a meteorite over Russia, and then just this weekend another asteroid. I mean, straight up, how concerned should we be about asteroids hitting Earth?
Well, the asteroids are out there, and we've got a surveillance system that's looking for them. Yeah, the chances are very, very small that anything would happen anytime soon. However, the chances is always out there. Asteroids are worth looking at, not only where they are and where they're headed, but they may very well be very rich in minerals and other materials that would be very useful to us. So there's a lot of reason to go out to them. The technology required to go to one and to stay in sort of an orbit around one and to do a spacewalk so you could actually attach yourself to an asteroid. That's all technology that we need to develop. And whenever we try something that hard, all of the the benefits, the technical benefits that come from that benefits everyone, really.
And again, my thanks to all three of them from talking to me from space.